Meanwhile, on International Holocaust Remembrance Day, the world remembered millions of people, over 6 million of them, who were killed at the hands of the Nazi German regime in Europe during the Second World War. And a small ceremony was also conducted on the grounds of Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp. Candles were lit and flowers were laid in memory of all those who were killed in gas chambers during the Holocaust. At least about 6 million European Jews and millions of other people were killed by the Nazis in Europe. At least about 1.5 million of those who were killed in gas chambers in the concentration camps of Nazi German Europe happened to be children. And of the 6 million Jews who were killed in the Holocaust, more than 1 million happened to be murdered at the Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp. And the United Nations also held a virtual ceremony in memory of the victims of the Holocaust. In his message, the Secretary General stressed that the United Nations must always be at the forefront of the fight against anti-Semitism and all forms of religious persecution and racism.
What we see today must worry us and jolt us into action. A resurgence of Holocaust denial, attempts to rewrite history, efforts to whitewash and rehabilitate people who committed crimes against humanity. Meanwhile, survey after survey shows increasing ignorance among young people about basic facts of the Holocaust.
Meanwhile, in Berlin, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, President Frank-Walter Steinmeier and also Israel's Knesset President Miki Levy laid wreaths at the memorial. And Israel's Foreign Minister Yair Lapid also paid tribute to Holocaust victims at the Mauthausen concentration camp. Lapid spoke of his grandfather who was murdered in the sump camp 100 kilometers from Mauthausen. While visibly moved, the Austrian Chancellor also responded by apologizing. Mauthausen's concentration camp in northwest Austria was the Third Reich's only Category 3 concentration camp. It was said to be the most brutal of destinations for the political enemies of the Nazi regime in Germany.
Yes, for far too long, the Republic of Austria denied its historical responsibility. But now we assume it. Now we actively work on it. And we are very much aware that this is not something which is directed towards the past. No, it is something which is a task for the future, not only in Austria, in Europe, globally.
Meanwhile, in France, President Emmanuel Macron led a flame rekindling ceremony at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Meanwhile, in Britain, members of the Parliament gathered for a ceremony at Westminster. The Speaker of the House of Commons led the ceremony. Commemorations also took place amidst a rise of anti-Semitic incidents that have been gaining traction during the lockdowns, as the pandemic has also exacerbated hatred online. The landmarks in London and Edinburgh were lit up in purple in commemoration of the Holocaust Memorial Day. Edinburgh Castle in Scotland was also lit up, along with several other landmarks in London, including bridges and also the London Eye. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.